Welcome, everyone. I'm Angelo Robles. I'm the founder and CEO of Family Office Association, a global membership organization dedicated to families of great success and their single-family offices. I wanted to take a moment, especially during COVID-19, to discuss a little bit about our organization and the benefits of membership, and specifically during the challenges of COVID-19, the crisis, what are the benefits of membership reflecting the current times that we're going through. Like all of you, this has certainly been a very challenging time, including for all of us, our families and our businesses. But I realized it was an incredibly important time to adapt, including to some things that me and my organization should have been doing months or years ago. And it's amazing how a crisis kind of forces us to adapt, to think differently, to think more creatively, I think, than ever before. It's been an intriguing time for me. And to really look and become, in many ways, more global and certainly more digital, and how we could benefit the community, our audience, a younger dynamic audience to some extent, moving forward. To give a little bit of context, this is my passion. This is my obsession. Like many entrepreneurs, and again, being the founder and CEO, this is a baby of mine. I've been doing this actually since the financial crisis in 2008. So I guess every 12 years for me, it seems like these crises come along. And maybe it's something that, again, we thrive in, that we get more creative than ever before. But this is it for me. So I love what I do. Family Office Association really is my driving passion. And I'm sure that our members of family offices around the world would agree, although imperfect, and we're not perfect. Certainly, it's a belief and an obsession of mine to be the best that we could be and to thrive during challenging circumstances. Somewhat of a compliment, multiple of our members have told us since the adaptations, which I'll get to very, very shortly, and what are the benefits of membership during the trying times we're going through now, that they actually like this Family Office Association better than the old. Now, really, it's going to be a combination of the two once physical events come back. But we've been outputting a tremendous amount of content and services, and it's been a hyper busy and creative time for us in terms of what we're doing and thriving. So let's get to it. We're going to recommend, yes, that you become an active participant in perhaps the world's most respected and active global brand, specifically in the single-family office community. And yes, we've adapted benefits and to some degree pricing to reflect the current COVID-19 times. The future is here. It's thrust upon us. We adapt or we die. We prepare you for intergenerational necessity, understanding vulnerabilities, becoming more resilient, anti-fragile, one of my favorite words, and to thrive in crisis. COVID-19, as a black swan event, accelerates what most families of exceptional wealth and their single-family offices really should have been doing all along: stress testing, disaster simulation planning, and playing out what-if scenarios. I've said for a long time, the families are already rich. They probably want to stay that way, pass on their wealth generationally, or at least make the decision through philanthropy how their assets and resources are going to be spent and used, for lack of a better word. And their wealth is more than financial. It's their legacy, their heritage, their knowledge, how their brand is perceived in their family, their community, and to some degree for some around the world. So hedging and mitigating risk in black swan events that could flip everything upside down is a devastating challenge. And really, the goal of the family office is to mitigate and hedge big problems or risk before they happen, to protect the family during what could be some challenging times. We offer resources and now weekly connectivity to design, accelerate, and or transform your family office to best serve the fluid fortune of the family. The best trends and best practices on investing, on family and SFO structuring, asset protection, wealth transfer, technology standards, becoming a more modern virtual family office, and we're very active in the exciting world of family office processes and policies and procedures. We're a little nerdy. We're completely dedicated to the nuances of everything for very, very successful families and the nuances of their single family offices. Now, one day, physical events will come back. And to give context, this is mid-May, obviously 2020 during the COVID-19 and the crisis. And whether it's 3 months or 6 months in some limited form, or until there's probably a vaccine, which I'm hoping will happen sooner rather than later, but maybe later in the year or the first quarter of next year, eventually physical events will come back. And the collisions that happen at physical events with old friends, with new families, with thought leaders, is an amazing experience. And we've been so fortunate. Such luminaries have spoken as Ray Dalio and Peter Thiel, and I've done multi-hour interviews with Tony Robbins. We've had Andre Agassi and so many other unique and prominent figures in the community that, of course, I want that to come back. And I want to do that again. And one day that will return. But in the meantime, we can't lament. We need to move forward and be adaptive to the current challenges that we have. So now getting to it. What are, besides what I noted, what are specifically the benefits in membership during the COVID-19 crisis? Well, for one, we host, I'm going to call it weekly, multiple weekly online video meetings for our members. Now, the reality is for the last 9 weeks, it's been Monday through Friday, every day. But I may need a break one day during the week. So as opposed to saying Monday through Friday every day, although likely, why don't we go with multiple times per week? We host weekly meetings with our members, preferably via video, so they feel some level of interaction to it. And I've had amazing thought leaders from the best of the best in investing in venture capital, big picture economics, politics, health and wellness, structuring in family offices, taxes, more taxes and taxes. Yeah, we seem to like that subject here. Next generation issues and topics, impact investing. And I guess because it feels like everyone's home, I've been getting these amazing big thought leaders, people like David Sinclair, the #1 expert in the world on longevity and talking about health and wellness and COVID-19, and Walter O'Brien of Scorpion fame relative to technologies, and the world leaders on blockchain and crypto, and Peter Schiff on the economy and gold, Adam Robinson on really understanding investing, especially during challenging times, Anthony Scaramucci on politics, Jason Calacanis on arguably the #1 startup investor in the world, Olympians, gold medalists, experts in leadership, how to think like Leonardo da Vinci, the future and how to thrive in the current new normal. I don't know where to begin or where to end. And these are not 30 minutes. They're often a minimum of an hour to sometimes an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. They're really, really deep. And you get a chance to be there live on video while it's actually happening. Now, that opportunity to be there live on video means that you could also interact not only with your peers in the online meeting, seeing who they are, setting up private chats, connecting offline if you wanted to do so, and that's happened so much. The interplay with the members has been fantastic, but a chance for your voice to be heard and for you to ask questions. whether anonymously as I see it come through a chat and I interact per you, for you, to the thought leader that we have on, or if you prefer to be known and want to make it known as such, or potentially take you off mute and directly ask the question, really that chance to interact, I find has worked better virtually than I ever would have thought. And the fact that people are seeing and hearing each other and connecting both through chat features as well as offline has been, again, I never would have guessed that. It's been amazing. Now, every other week, and the reality is it's been closer to once a week, but let's go with every other week, we host usually a multi-hour, strictly peer-to-peer. No guest, no experts, probably no solutions, just what's going on, asking a lot of questions, and just sharing trends and best practices from a family-to-family side, a next generation side, a single family office executive side. I have a counterpart, really good friend of mine in Australia that runs a wonderful group, and I had about 10 of my families, he had 10 of his, and we did an amazing 2-hour and 10-minute peer-to-peer. So we called it our mastermind series, so that's been very, very successful. We may start to even do that more than what I'm doing it, but again, why don't I be a little conservative in terms of what I'm mentioning? I'm also creating a lot of really deep master classes, often 90-minute to 2-hour, maybe 1 or 2 are going to be half-day programs that I'm creating, built around how to create a generationally thriving single-family office. And really a lot of my work lately, my research, my writing, my books, has been dedicated to the virtual, so the timing is great, the virtual family office. We'll get to a little bit more of that later, but again, we take tremendous pride, myself individually and as the company, in the quality of our proprietary content that we put out. And we've been doing that for a long time. A really big feature that I launched within kind of the first week of the COVID-19, so this goes back probably 10 or 11 weeks ago, is finally, I was a little late to the game, sadly, but I took care of it in a great way, creating a 24/7 member-to-member online private portal. It's a more beautiful version of a LinkedIn meets Facebook meets Twitter. It's super easy to use. It's a beautiful interface and allows member-to-member communication anywhere in the world. Our members in Singapore, in LATAM, in Australia, connecting with LA, New York, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, whatever it may be, families, especially during times like this, knowing that you have a portal to communicate, to share trends and best practices with your peers, to ask questions, and for me to post some ultra proprietary content that sometimes I don't even traditionally distribute, to share our calendar of our mastermind classes that I mentioned, our upcoming weekly calendar of online programs. This member portal has been amazing. We're going to start to branch off within it and put even more features, a direct deal scorecard, a tabletop simulation, both things I may get to a little bit later. But we got lots going on. And again, the crisis kind of forced all of this upon us and for us to adapt, and it's been fantastic. In many ways, like I said, and members have agreed, in some ways, it's been better than ever. So it really has been a very, very intriguing time. That also reminds me, and for a long time, COVID or non-COVID, we're more than just a company that used to put on physical events and have great speakers and very protective of our brand and our image, and hopefully 99% of the time did a really, really good job. But I do a significant amount myself individually, and some of it we may commission, but most of it is done internally in terms of proprietary content. My podcasting on Apple, my magazine, my books, and hundreds of research and white papers that we've done dedicated to how to create a family office, how to improve results, leadership and talent, cultural development, committees and boards, investing, taxes, wealth transfer, international planning. And don't think that we're only a US-centric organization. About 90% of my members are US-centric. But that used to be 98%, used to be 95%. So we're growing in the US, but we're growing even faster around the world. So we definitely have a base of membership all around the world, families and family offices that believe in us, that are financially supportive. They're a member, they're a dues paying member, and they get the specific benefits, which appear to be evolving all the time and getting better and better. Again, ironically, during the challenging times we're going through now. But I output a lot of content. And I know that's probably not as respected as it used to be. A fair amount of it's available for free or online. And I guess my Apple podcasts are effectively for free. That's Angelo Robles's Effective Family Office podcast, which is on Apple, Stitcher, iHeart, I believe Spotify and other stations. And during the crisis, I'm doing so many of them, that has grown significantly. And I've been very proud and very lucky with some of the great speakers that I've had on to really help get some level of success from that part of the community. But we love the intellectual aspect. And in many ways, that kind of really is the heart of who we are. What else have we done differently, or what else have we added? I'm working on a concept for my members called a Family Office Dream Team. Think back to the '92 Olympics and how in basketball you had Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, etc. form the original Dream Team, and that's become synonymous with the best of the best, with excellence. So is there any such thing as a Family Office Dream Team? I'm always careful with the word experts, because my concern with being an expert is you get an ego, you don't have a beginner's mindset anymore, and you look at things too linearly to how you see them and not out of the box and using more right-brain thinking. That being said, there are times for a specific skill or expertise where there are people that are maybe very narrow, but what they know about estate planning or how to structure an SFO with lender versus the IRS principles, etc., that is needed. But how do we take some of that and couple it with more creative right-brain thinkers in psychology, in architecture, in the world of arts, and simply people that are amazing thinkers and hyper-creative, and how they look at problems along with the experts, the technical people, and how I put that together with my global Rolodex to help families solve big problems. And really the big thing that we've been focused on lately, and I hinted at it earlier, is the family is already very, very successful and has tremendous assets and resources. It's protecting what they got so they can pass on their legacy and their wealth how they want to. And to have that devastated by a black swan event or something that no one sees coming, it's a big, big problem. So that really is one of the, in my opinion, the core goal of a single family office. And many of them, we all have blind spots. We could all have a different set of eyes, look at what we're doing to get better. And that's what I look at my Dream Team initiatives, that we have some services for our member families to get a little bit of a spotlight on what they're doing and help to give them some guidance, I guess you could say. The other thing related to that we've worked on is known in consultants industry as a tabletop exercise. So that relates to what I said, and I did hint at it earlier. It's really a tabletop simulation exercise for your family office. It's stress testing, disaster simulation planning, and playing out what-if scenarios for analysis and recommendations to enhance what you're doing and become elite. Imagine this scenario. Let's bring the family, the senior people in the family office, and maybe one or two outside advisors together. Now in today's world, that probably means virtual. I get it. And let's play out a terrible scenario. Principal in their 70s gets COVID-19. Within 24 hours, they get put on a ventilator. Right before that, they name, let's say, their 33-year-old millennial daughter as, durable power of attorney. And she now goes into the family office and the advisors and never really had a connection to begin with. That's one problem. And wants to know what's going on. And now she's in charge. And this is disaster simulation planning, playing out what-if scenarios. Everyone has blind spots. We all need the dream team, myself and a dream team, set of eyes to take a look at things from a different and unique perspective. and kind of what's working, what could have worked under this scenario, but what could be enhanced and improved. No one is perfect. Go from good to great. Go from great to exceptional. Go from exceptional to world level elite. If you're going to make a career in this community, especially as a single family office executive, be great or go home. It's not just enough to have great character and be ethical and to try hard. Those are all incredibly important, as well as obviously a specific skill set. But you want to have that beginner's mindset. You always want to be eager to learn. Family offices get too siloed. So the opportunity of being more open, of sharing in trends and best practices, and in hedging and mitigating and protecting against significant risk and black swan events is incredibly important. I could do a similar tabletop simulation with a cybersecurity attack, a tsunami, and now we're all forced to work remotely. The opportunity of, are things in the cloud? Are they still done the old-fashioned way? How are you communicating? Are you using Microsoft Teams and Slack? What are you doing? How are you managing project management? Does the family really know what they own? Where's the aggregation and reporting? Where's the important documents for durable power of attorney, if applicable, of wills, of estate plan, of a framework, of an idea? Now, we all know what happens sometimes to best laid plans. The great philosopher Mike Tyson, we all have a plan until we get hit, but you have to have the framework of what are our standards, what are our processes to get to the outcomes by identifying the goals that we have, and what are principles and policy and procedures. I'm a little bit of a big policy and procedures guy. That doesn't mean that it has to be so straightforward, everything is followed perfectly down the line, but you don't want to be willy-nilly either. And this is marrying the quantitative with the qualitative. And it's very important because they're both really powerful and important. And you perhaps don't want to have one more dominant than the other, but you need to have some level of standards, of processes and policy and procedures, especially as we're learning now during something like COVID-19. So we've historically have made our base level of membership, networking membership, at $4,950 annualized, but there is a way for people to join monthly. It's a little more money, so you get a benefit from annualizing at $4,950. The monthly is $458. And we think everything I just described, now there's going to be some limitations on the Dream Team and the tabletop simulation, but you're going to get a light variation of that. We really want to be here to help. I'm proud of how we adapted as an organization and how we really are coming into this very strong, stronger during it. And I think it's going to be amazing. Now, of course, it's my baby, it's my obsession, like I said earlier. Of course, I'm going to feel that way. But we've done incredibly well, not only holding on for the most part, whatever, 90% plus to the members that we have, but in picking up new members and growing. And these newer benefits that I just described, they've been amazing. Again, there are some older members that like this better than the old way of doing things. But one day that will come back and we'll marry a combination of the two, because I do like to do physical events in Martha's Vineyard in Palm Beach in New York and the Hamptons and LA and Orange County and Dallas and Aspen. I mean, that's a lot of fun in the Caribbean, around the world. We want to be more active globally. So we were looking at doing something in Switzerland, Greece, and the UK possibly, and COVID-19 came along. But one day, 6 months, a year, 18 months, we're still going to be here. We're going to be stronger than ever, and that's going to be a chance for that to come back and bring the two together. We do have other forms of membership that would go up a notch higher, $8,100 annualized. We do that one at $750 a month. You will get more. You get everything of what I just described, but you get more deeper in depth on, let's call it the Dream Team and the tabletop simulation. If there were physical events, the advantage is you get invited to some of the events we do at member homes, at private estates, and make it a unique, special experience for our members. We like to do those kind of things. We like social interaction. Actually, some of the upcoming virtual that we're going to do is not even, let alone with no experts, but even just more social in terms of you and your family and just socially interacting, almost like a networking cocktail hour virtually. So again, we're adapting. It's been a very intriguing time. I would say in many ways we're thriving. So I hope this video was helpful, and it may make it come to life a little more than reading it in our membership PDF brochure or hearing about what we're doing on this and social media. So I wanted to shoot this video not in an interview format, although those are fun too. That really puts me on the spot. But I'm doing this for the most part just off the top of my head with a couple of reminder notes that I have in front of me. And really wanted to come through in terms of hopefully to you, my passion and obsession for what I do, how we're doing great. We look to do even better. And this has been an intriguing period for us to adapt, where I think others have been a little slow to the game. And what we're doing on a creativity side, really dedicated exclusively to our community, has worked out very, very well. And we hope that you could be a part of it and join us. Everyone, I'm Angelo Robles. I'm the founder and CEO at Family Office Association. Thank you so much today for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you as a member in Family Office Association. The website is familyofficeassociation.com. I'm very active on social media. Instagram, we're also Family Office Association. I'm Angelo Robles, and my company group, Family Office Association, on LinkedIn. So we're also very, very active on really all forms of social media, including my YouTube channel, which simply is Family Office. So again, hey, we're getting more technical and digital and adapting to today's times and more of the global community. Everyone, enjoy. I'm out. Thank you so much.